I'm going to make a walnut bowl with a cast pewter rim. Never done this before, let's see how we get on. This is the jig I use to accurately mark out the dovetails. Now I've marked out the base, it's time to shape the bowl. I'm using some pull cuts here, and then as I go further around I'll transfer into a push cut. I'm using my skew chisel here to create the dovetail for the spigot. Sticking with a really simple shape on the outside, it's almost complete now. Just using a cabinet scraper to dress out any little imperfections and lumps and bumps. Time to sand it up now. I'm using a bowl sander and I'm working from 120 down to 400 grit. With the outside of the bowl finished nicely now, time to turn it round, grab it on the foot we've created on the spigot, get it to run true, and then start to hollow out the centre of the bowl. I'm using my skew chisel just to create a nice flat edge where the pewter rim will sit on, and then my vernier gauge just to mark out the dimensions for the pewter spigot to sit into. I'm happy with the rim of that bowl, it looks quite good. It's got a nice clean edge where the spigot of the pewter is going into. I'm going to use my skew chisel to make sure it's super flat and then give it a little light sand. I'm going to use my spindle gouge to start the top edge of the bowl, and then we're ready to start hollowing it out. A quick check with my pencil to check the depth. I'd like the thickness of the bowl to be parallel all the way round. I'm using my round nose scraper here just to iron out a few of the little lumps and bumps on the inside. Time for a bit of sanding on the inside now, doing exactly the same as the outside, using my bowl sander and working from 120 down to 400. Right, so here's our almost finished bowl. It's a very simple shape, like so, and the rim is 8mm
with a 2mm rebate cut in for the rim to glue into.
Here's a sketch showing how the cast pewter rim will sit on the rim of the bowl.
Okay, so it's time now to make the mould for the pewter. I'm making it out of a bit of plywood. I've marked the outside bowl rim and the inside bowl rim and the centre, and I'm also going to make a little rebate so that I can turn the piece of wood round and maybe trim the pewter afterwards in the mould. Not sure how that's going to work yet.
I'm using a 2mm parting tool to create the spigot for the mould. This is the only really fiddly bit of the job, as it needs to be done quite accurately. The mould is almost complete now. I'm quite happy with the way it's looking. Just needs a bit of finishing up on the edges. I'm using my camping stove here to melt down the pewter, and I'm just going to now pour it into the mould. Oops, missed a bit. Still, there's plenty of pewter left to fill in the mould. It's going to take a little while to cool down, so I'm going to leave it for half an hour and go and have a cup of tea.
So here's our cast ring in the mould. I'm going to turn it round, mount it this way, and see if I can face off the bottom edge. We'll see what happens.
I'm going to expose the bottom of the pewter ring now. I'm using my bowl gouge just to gently take away the material until I can just see the pewter peering through. You can just see the bottom spigot there just poking through the bottom of the mould. Just going to take a little bit more off, and then I should be able to remove the outside of the mould, exposing the pewter casting. With the bowl interface side of the pewter now exposed, I'm just using a little scraper to clean up that front edge. That's the bottom of the cast ring almost complete. Time to get the bowl and just do a little trial fit to make sure it sits nicely. I've turned the mould round now so that I can get to the other face. This will allow me to release the ring from the mould.
Okay, so with the bowl trued back up again, runs nice and smooth. And now the little ridge on there should go in this little slot. And that's ready to be glued in with Araldite.
I've covered both surfaces, both the ring and the rim of the bowl, in Araldite, and I'm just twisting it in to make sure it's seated properly. I need to hold the ring in place now firmly, so I'm bringing the tailstock up, using a bit of wood to spread the load. Let the glue dry, should only take about half an hour. With the glue dry nicely, it's time to start about turning the rim of the bowl. It's a good idea to have a little sweep up before you start turning the pewter, only that the shavings that you create can go back in the pot and be melted down for your next project. I'm using my little round nose scraper here. It cuts the pewter perfectly and it's just right for profiling the top rib of the bowl. I'm using a little point tool here just to give a clean, sharp, crisp edge where the pewter meets the wood. There's still a few little tiny bits of araldite glue that have squidged out when the two mating surfaces were pushed together, but on the whole that looks pretty good. I'm going to finish it off with a bit of wire wool just to bring some shine up on it. Wow, I'm very happy with that. I'm going to take it out the chuck, turn it round and put a proper foot on the bottom, and then it's time to finish it. I'm going to finish it with sanding sealer and polish it up with carnauba wax.